ready.
There, okay. So today we're going to be talking about Gone with a Trace, episode 5 in the 7th season of the Clone Wars. So, joining me is Star Wars fan and Family B, and we're going to give you our thoughts and opinions and how the first episode in the new arc starts and how we feel about it. So, I don't know, I watched it twice, and I think the biggest thing for me is it kind of feels like a filler episode. Like, it doesn't feel very involved with the rest of the Clone Wars and the Galaxy events, and kind of disappointed in that frame. I was hoping we'd get something a bit more grand for our last season, but how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna include for the other episodes, because there's a lot of story they could cover, and they decide to do an episode like this. And how many episodes are we getting? Like 12?
Yeah.
Yeah,
3 arcs, 4 episodes each.
Yeah, that feels like kind of like a time crunch, and yet they're doing an episode like this. So it kind of just feels a little bummed out.
Yeah, I think Siege of Mandalore is going to be pretty cool, and that's our next arc we're going to get, but I think we could have got multiple, like, big episode arcs, but we're getting this more character examination.
Yeah. Well, this episode just felt slow.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I guess what we could see is maybe how Ahsoka is gonna find her own personality and her own self without the Force and without being a Jedi. I mean, we kind of got that with Rebels, but you know, Ahsoka's still not adult yet, so she hasn't figured that out. So I guess we could see how she interacts with other people that aren't the Jedi. But kind of beyond that,
She still used the Force to save Trace.
yeah. Now she did use it more limited. She only used it once, where I'm sure she could have used it in other instances to make things easier, but.
And I don't think Trace noticed that she used the Force, so I think her
Well, no,
being Jedi is still kind
yeah,
of
Trace,
a mystery, at least to her and the sisters.
Yeah, Trace was still out of view, so she couldn't really see what was happening. And then all the other adult aliens, they were looking at the I don't know, the transport or the carrier, except that little kid, but you know, so no one really noticed her, so she's still in the clear for that. So I think that was the biggest thing, just how the episode feels a bit fillery and not really grandiose. There's a few other things, the 1313 reference. So for those of you who don't know, 1313 was a canceled, pretty completed Star Wars video game, I don't know, maybe like 5 years ago, and they released like a little gameplay footage at E3 one time, but then it got canceled when Disney took over, so I kind of felt insulted that they're using 1313 just as a little Easter egg instead of, like, you know, the full-on video game when they mentioned it.
Well, wasn't like 1313 like mentioned earlier in the like other Clone Wars series? Because I could have swore there was like an episode. Yeah, I think there was. I could have swore there was an episode where they went to the underworld and they went to like level 1313. I could have swore.
Did they? I mean, maybe when Anakin was trying to find vengeance, but in Bear Safi, but I don't know. Well, I mean, this time it was pretty obvious, and yeah, I kind of that hurts. You know, it was supposed to be rated M, so that I think it could be like one of the first rated M Star Wars games. I don't really think we've gotten anything else like that. It's a bit more mature. That could be kind of interesting, because so far Star Wars has been kind of more family-oriented. It hasn't really gotten into anything too dark and involved, but you know, we could see that. What else did we have? You guys had any thoughts? I've been kind of talking a lot.
No, not really. It was just kind of a boring episode.
Yeah. Which I'm kind of sad. I kind of thought like the original episodes from Clone Wars creators would have been better than the Bad Batch, which was just reused footage. But yeah, I don't know. This one didn't really impress me all too much.
Yeah. I think we're all just waiting for Mandalore at this point.
Ahsoka vs. Maul, yes please. That'll be fun.
Yeah, I feel like this arc's just kind of like another just throwaway kind of arc.
Yeah. Let's try to find curious.
The sisters kind of have like a interesting dynamic. I guess the older one seems to be the leader.
Yeah, that's kind of typical. I mean,
yeah,
nothing too surprising there. Like,
yeah, it was very cliche too.
Now, I kind of thought Trace would have been a bit like they were going to be more equals, because like she was harping on her sister for like stealing the stuff and like asking if she was paying the money. So I thought it'd be a bit more equal, but when the older one, Rafa, I believe was the name, she started like talking about lessons and stuff, then that kind of affirmed her position as the leader of the two. I thought it could have been cool to have like a power struggle dynamic instead of like one greater than the other. I mean, we could see that if Trace starts to take more of a leadership role, but we didn't really get that for this episode.
I kind of wanted to know what Ahsoka was trying to do down in the underworld. I don't think they really did much explanation other than just the opening scene with her, your speeder bike going down, the levels.
Yeah.
Like, does she live there? What has she been doing all this time since she left the Jedi Order?
Yeah, like why would Ahsoka go to the underworld after she leaves? Wouldn't she like go back home to her planet or something? Where all the Togrutas live? I mean, that would make more sense for me. But...
maybe she doesn't have enough money, but
yeah, she did say that. Yeah, I kind of thought that curious. I guess this is kind of a given, even though it's kind of interesting. That's her choice, but yeah. I kind of thought Ahsoka's new uniform was funny with the bell-bottom pants. This is kind of interesting, you know. I don't really think much of it, but going back to the 70s, where Star Wars started, you know. So, any last thoughts?
Trying to think of what I said yesterday.
Yeah.
It was just kind of this very standard episode.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Too crazy going on.
So yeah, I'm a bit disappointed. Maybe it could turn out better. Who knows? We still got 3 episodes, so yeah, we'll be covering those next time. And yeah, I think with that we'll end it there. And thanks for watching, and see you next time.